But it's not really, and this is the biggest deal, about the information that you're privy to or you read or somehow you read and able to take it off the page and make it realize, because that's what you got to do anyway. Your mentality when you approach it. We have such shot down, block mentality. Why do you think this stuff is being offered to us with pretty much no resistance? Because they understand your mentality is so shot, they can present it all to you, and you don't even know how to access it for real, for real. You may do a few things to make your life feel better. Change your name and have a new vocabulary. Feel now that you fucking your girl is a little bit more than just fucking. It's called tantric. And because you'll breathe a certain way, you're somehow opening up the fucking cosmos. And you can, and you very well may be. But because the mentality is so short-sighted, they're not worried about that. And it's really something you have to find within yourself to free. If you got to understand the entire process of this is freeing yourself, freeing your mind from the constraints of, and I know it sounds cliche when you just keep saying of humanity, but you really need to probe and understand what human thought is. By nature, it's restricting. When you first are born here and you got a body of a kid, or you can observe any kid if you can't remember it, all they do is run and put themselves in constant danger. They'll run near the steps, they run near the stove, they run near boiling water, they'll run in the street if you don't keep grabbing and beating their ass. How do you learn? What happened to that kid that used to just run in the street, play by the fire, jump on, climb shit that was impossible, that you wouldn't even look at right now? What happened to it? Slowly but surely, humanity takes its course on you. You were born here from that place which was not restricted. And there was no danger and no death. You still retain that as a child. What we call the stupidity of a child that would endanger yourself, that's why you need a babysitter, is actually because he hasn't been indoctrinated into human fear yet. So the more you stub your toe, the more you cut your knee, the more you burn your hand, the more you trip, the more you fall, and beloved, the more your mama beat your ass about whatever. You didn't brush your teeth, ass whipping. You didn't make up your bed, ass whipping. You know what I'm saying? You got mismatched socks on, ass whipping. Late for church, ass whipping. You ate all the fucking cookies, ass whipping. You get this ass whipping, or this threat of ass whipping, at every corner. What this is slowly and surely doing, before you get to the white man and the Illuminati and Willie Lynch and all the rest of it, what this slowly but surely doing by way of fear is instilling blockages in you, instilling stop points in you, instilling limitations in you. So before you get to the Illuminati and what religion did and what church did, what you can call as mind control. If I said, what's the worst mind control? Niggas will line up and they say it in class, religion, Illuminati, religion. But then I remind them, that's not the greatest form of mind control here. The greatest form of mind control is your fucking mama. Because you wouldn't even care about religion until she told you it's the thing to care about. She's the one that convinced you of that shit. Because my mother and father were not in religion. But I'll do you one better. My grandfather and grandmother and grandfather and grandmother on both sides were not in religion. Because if your mother and father are tired from their getting dragged there by their parents picked up where they left off with your ass. Never happened for me. So the religious mindset or religion poses no threat to me as a form of mind control. Besides what fell off the table, because it's everywhere. But as something that routinely instills fear, you're going to go to hell if you don't do that. This is God's law. Never happened. So my parents didn't facilitate. Those would be the greatest facilitators because they are the gateway to these things. Mm-hmm. That's in the Willie Lynch. They told you, once we break this bitch, she'll break them for us. And that's the same thing. All of these things put restrictions on what it is you're supposed to be doing as a true conscious spiritualist. As a metaphysician, you can talk all day. But as a spiritualist, it's hands-on. And the battery, the gasoline that's driving you is a free mind. And we think the mind is free because I like dark-skinned people now, so I'm free. You know what I'm saying? That ain't enough. You know what I'm saying? My hair is natural, so I'm free.
You're vegan.
Yeah, I'm vegan, so I'm free. That ain't freedom. You know what I'm saying? You're just a Christian vegan. You're just a Christian naturalist. You're just a Christian tantric sex having Kundalini yoga breatharian ass nigga who still got a Christian mindset, even if it ain't about Jesus, because it ain't just about Jesus. It's really the big deal was to get us to believe the power existed outside of us. Just the fact that we think, even in our consciousness, that we still have to obtain power is actually a farce. The power is yours. You're only reading and studying to realize it, and you can't realize it because your mind isn't free enough to actualize it, to see it. This idea, this context of how outside of us is something we need to obtain, because that's probably one of the biggest realizations that will change your life once you're able to change that realization.